DraftSociety.com presents a Premier League Draft Fantasy Podcast. Welcome to the Key Pass Collective. Your exclusive source for the information, analysis, and advice you need to dominate your fantasy leagues. Come on in. We've been expecting you.
Draft heads, it's happening. Hey everyone, how are you? I hope you're well. I really do. I actually mean that too. Welcome into Keep Ass Collective. My name is Joe Williams. I will be your host for this particular episode. Welcome back to the show. For those who are new, we are the audio companion to the Draft Society website. Of course, the Draft Society is the place to visit for all of your draft fantasy football needs. As they relate to the Premier League specifically, I should mention that. But yeah, I'll get more into that in just a second. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a great midweek game week. It was an interesting one for sure, and a lot of goals to go around, which is fun, and quite a dramatic end to it as well. And I know that's gonna bring up strong feelings one way or the other for a lot of people listening. I was telling Genie in our chat that I just knew that Ahmad hat trick. I just knew that there were several, a handful, 10, 20, 50 maybe game weeks, matchups that were literally flipped on their head because of that performance. Like that performance alone, right? Which is pretty wild to think about. And I know that when you go against a player like that, it's just painful. But yeah, hopefully that wasn't you if you're listening. If it was, let's get you back right. We'll hopefully give you some good advice here today and get you set up with some streamers, maybe talk about some transfers you could bring into your team, all those kind of good things. So yeah, welcome in. Let's talk Draft Society real quick. So as mentioned, we are the audio companion to the Draft Society website. What is the Draft Society? Well, it's where you go to get your draft needs taken care of. Top 75 consensus ranks every single week. Weekly waiver wire articles, Sleepers 11, Ghost Point Hunters article from Ryan, useful draft statistics that are incredibly detailed and completely free. Projected lineups every single week. That's all free on the site. You need to be making use of that. And then, if you are willing to join the Inner Circle, so that's kind of our behind closed doors paid subscriber section only, you can get a whole host of other benefits as well. So rest of season player rankings, we've got points projections for every single player every single week. We've got sortable consensus rankings on international break that we always publish. Trade advice that is confidential that your league mates will not see, which is pretty sweet. We track set piece takers. We have a fixture difficulty tracker. And then you can get inside our Inner Circle Discord, which is pretty awesome too. It's a place where some good conversation happens, and also a lot of like team leaks. Not that we have insiders necessarily, but you'll be the first to kind of hear about a lot of the things that happen. Maybe you can go pick up players because of it. Maybe you can make game week decisions because of it. There's a lot of people that just post really helpful links in there and rumors and things like that. It's really, it's just incredibly useful. And then if you are willing, you can purchase the season pass, which will get you the fantasy toolkit. And that'll be bespoke to your Fantrax ID and give you specific input for your league specifically. A lot of specifics going on there. Your league specifically. And it'll tell you about who you might want to pick up. It'll give you the value of your players in trades. It will give you our specific fixture difficulty tracker, and you can sort that by various game weeks. There's just a lot. It's incredible. Check it out. Fantasy Toolkit in the Inner Circle if you are willing to join the season with the Ultimate Pass, and you can get that. You can get that on a discount right now. Use the code CYBERDRAFT. Okay, cool. that aside, let's talk. Today on the KPC, David Moyes is back, so we're excited about that. Or are we? I guess we'll talk about that. Yeah, the first week was whelming, so we'll see. But we'll talk. Reality check. Oh, sorry. First, January transfer update. Hint, not a lot has changed, but it's fine. We'll talk January transfer update, get you up to date on any of the ones that are confirmed and what we think they're going to do in the fantasy game. Then, reality check. Talk about some new realities in our fantasy game, and then our Game Week 22 streamers, of course. As always, get you set up for next week. Okay, so we're hoping Ryan will join us here in just a little bit, but for now, and for good, of course, we've got Totti as well.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
It is going well. Yes, it is going well.
Nice.
I've won all but one league matchup this midweek game week, so I'm excited. And the one I've lost in my home league, my main rival up front in first lost as well, so I haven't lost ground there either. So yeah, overall decent outcome. Regarding my fantasy prospects, if that was what you were inquiring about. If not,
Sure.
there was some info for you that you did not ask, nor did our listeners.
Unsolicited fantasy info about your leagues. Hey, I'm here for it. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I came away with the W in all three of my leagues, which was awesome. Well, all three of my matchups, 2 leagues, 1 cup match and 1 regular match, which was solid. And I gotta say, I added 2 weeks ago. I added both Matty Cash and Livermento. They've just been lights out. I could not be more pleased.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that's been pretty cool. Ryan, success stories? Not really.
Yeah, two of 3. The one I care about the most, I lost again. I feel like
Yeah.
that's my best team, and I should be walking away with it, but I'm only got a 2-game lead because I like all my losses. Like my opponent scores like 130, and I'm at like 115. So it's like one of those where I'm not like crazy points against, but like I am when it matters. So it's like super annoying. I got to drop like 140 to win these days, but yeah, otherwise can't complain.
Yeah, that seems to be kind of common in a lot of my losses these days. Like, and I feel bad for my opponent in the cup. I beat him 153 to 119, and 119 you'd like to think is a score that you're going to win most weeks, you know. So yeah, it's been rough lately. There's some big scores, it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was against Isaac, and I was like, I just need to avoid a 30-pointer from him, and yeah, sure enough. And I kept seeing the news piecemeal. I'd be like, oh well, Newcastle scored. I'd go see it. Newcastle scored again. Oh, of course it's Isaac. Third goal. He must be off. No, it was the assist. Christ.
Yeah. I thought for sure I was going down. I mean, this guy, he had Savio, he had Gakpo, Trossard, Gordon, Eze. I mean, it was just like the cards were stacking against me, and I luckily I was able to counter with the aforementioned just defensive wonder duo of Cash and Livermento, and then Anthony Robinson. My God.
Yeah, that dude's. I thought he was like, all right, well, he's finally gonna have a bad showing because I missed the goals, and then I saw that West Ham had scored twice, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and then I saw him drop a 30 plus. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I yes. I'm free, and I won't. I don't know if by the definition of Lee Greenwood that Jedi is an American, because he has a British accent, but.
Well, I thought you meant black.
Well, no, I think Lee is probably a bad human being, but I would not going to cast that aspersion.
We don't know. We don't know that about Lee Greenwood, if he is or not.
No, I mean the Canada song in and of itself.
One of them racists. Yeah, that's fair. I guess I just associate the song with. Anyway, that's fine. I won't go there. All right, cool guys. Well, yeah, let's get on to the real deal here. So we are going to talk first and foremost transfers, of which and guess what? The slide for the most part worked this week. I mean, it's not flawless.
I mean, it knows it's a slide, so it's just slick.
Yeah. It's better than last week. It's fine.
One column.
Yeah. But I mean, spoiler to listeners, like a lot of this hasn't really changed all that much. There's really not a ton of new, like juicy information or credible, transfer rumors that have sort of come forward in the last few days. So we're going to talk some of them that have actually solidified and been signed and see if our thoughts on them have changed at all. Might go quickly. That's fine. But first and foremost, we got to talk about the newest, if you want to call it, transfer. Last week we talked Potter. So we got to talk David Moyes. We've seen one game, and dare I say it wasn't a very good barometer. I don't think of what his Everton are going to be capable of. That Villa squad is tough, and we all know that. So yeah, did you guys take anything from that, or do you think that's a barometer of what they're capable of? Like, were you discouraged?
I thought they were unlucky not to get something out of that game, to be honest. And it might sound paradoxical, but because DCL should have scored at least one of those chances. But I think he has a chance of getting a tune out of. I think Moyes has a chance of getting a tune out of DCL, and I think he'll stick with them. And they have the DGW coming up, so he's somebody I'm kind of quasi stashing in one league. But
yep, same.
It was nice to see Tarks back to his pretty good ghosting ways. Otherwise, yeah, the attack is still pretty anemic. But yeah, I thought in general they were unlucky to not at least nick a draw in that one.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's a very short turnaround for Moyes, so I'm not sure that we can take away anything, but it was a creditable performance. And I know Ryan, you don't like McNeil, not as much as Genie, but it has to be said that he is their creative and attacking outlet. So until he is back and integrated into Moyes' system, then I don't think we'll know the true strength of how he plans to tackle the inaptitude of getting goals. Because I mean, they weren't scoring much when McNeil was fit, but since then they've just been dire.
I mean, that's absolutely.
But I think the team is set up for a classic Moyes counter-attack type of football. So it's solid enough at the back, and they have quick-ish players who can turn around and add some pizzazz up front. So I think if he uses Doucouré, McNeil, and Jai correctly, maybe. I'm not convinced on DCL, but yeah, maybe if he kind of tells him where the goal is, something like that. Then
I think
maybe they can.
I worry DCL becomes a Mikel Antonio type role, meaning that he does absolutely nothing. But I have speculatively added him as well. I'm more hopeful than I am because I think Mikel Antonio is a pretty terrible footballer. DCL is for all of his faults and injuries.
Is DCL a better footballer than Mikel Antonio?
I think so.
Man, Antonio's just been unlucky injury-wise. I mean, after that 4-goal display against Norwich in lockdown, like I will never cast aspersions on Mikel.
As a fantasy
especially
asset.
when he's laid up. I mean, my God, do you have no soul?
Well,
kicking someone while they're down.
he's laid up all the time.
He
When,
just got in.
I mean,
He's lucky
when
to be
can
alive.
you make fun of the guy?
Not now.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, he's. And this is of no fault of his own this time. I completely agree.
we don't know that, but
Well,
Let's not go too far the other way.
okay, all right, fine. Okay, as a fantasy asset, I think I prefer DCL. At least a healthy one, which he appears to be for at least this week.
Yeah. This is all predicated upon him staying fit, and that's a very big if.
as we talk about these players, they are very similar,
Yeah,
aren't they? Like
for sure.
ineffective. They used to be good or used to be decent, but perennially injured. It's just same players.
You're spot on. And neither of them ghost very well.
Yeah.
DCL has his moments with aerials.
Right.
Yeah,
Mikel Antonio
doesn't at all.
Yeah, 3.
Are there any? When was the last time we had an aerially dominant fantasy forward that actually stuck? Even McBurney, I think McBurney, the first iteration of McBurney was that, but the second one couldn't hold a starting spot in Sheffield United, which is
that's true.
So it's maybe first McBurney, the first coming of McBurney was the last like proper effective in real life, but also great aerial forward type fantasy player. But I miss those. I miss the Christian Benteke of the world.
I was gonna say big.
About to say.
I was gonna say Big Paul, but then you had to go and say effective in real life, and that was
Tall Paul. I don't know if he's still wandering the earth. Did he get it? Did he get a cameo today? I didn't watch the game.
I think he did at the end, but it was
Yeah.
His days seem to have come to a close.
It was a short fuse.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
Totti, you mentioned Iliman Jai. Did you see that he got -1 in 90 minutes?
I did. He was going against me in one of the leagues. Yeah, I did.
You have reverse luck of what Ryan and I have. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm skeptical about him. I don't know.
I'm not saying that DCL is going to be a ghosting machine, but I'd like to think he has a bit more of an opportunity to have a decent floor given the aerials. I just remember seeing some of his scores earlier this season in which he had 8 or 9 aerials, and that papers over a lot of cracks when you're not scoring goals, and he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, with aerials only half point for forwards, they need to get them in rows.
Yeah.
To be decent. So we will DCL will be around top of the aerial charts come the end of the season. Every season that he is reasonably fit in. But that will amount to half the points as Tarkowski or Nathan Collins or whoever. So yeah,
we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, okay. I guess that's probably all for now on Everton, right?
Yeah. Before we move on to the new players, what did you guys make of the first Potter West Ham game? Do we have any takeaways?
God, man, I thought they were pretty bad. They were extremely fortunate to nick those 2 goals. I mean, one was an absolute gift to Paquetá. I just thought they were very disjointed and just really, really bad all around. And the scoreline definitely flattered him. So I think it's just going to take him a bit more time to bed in. I think he needs one of those KDH type players to get them ticking.
You don't think Paquetá can do that?
No.
He was playing false nine.
He was? I didn't watch this match.
It was very false.
I think he was.
He was playing -9.
Yes. Leno made him into a 9 by gifting him the ball in front of the goal. But
Totti, you streamed Soler in one league, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah,
I did successfully.
God.
Yeah, I mean, based on the reviews, he did well, but I'd still probably hope to sell someone on him being the new Potter darling who will score every game.
yeah.
It looks like Soler was playing left wing, and Paquetá in fact was playing on paper was playing as a false 9, but he was drifting wide right and centre left, so he was all over the place. But Soler was definitely playing left wing, and Kudus was right wing and more even right wing back. But he was subbed off at 63 minutes, which is somewhat of a concern.
Yeah.
I think we need to watch that. Well,
Yeah,
those
that's true.
Those who have Kudus.
What you're describing, Ryan, I think just smacks of a team that hasn't been, coached up in the tactics of the new manager enough yet, and they're actually being asked to do something, tactically that might actually be effective, as opposed to whatever the fuck Lopetegui was doing.
Yes, that's well said. I was disappointed with Kilman because he's lost it. I thought maybe the last couple of games since they shipped a bunch of goals, but no, he didn't ghost at all, and he killed me.
Palace, Villa, Chelsea. Are you dropping him?
Oh, I already dropped him.
Okay.
Yeah, I will not abide with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I think it has to be a very specific role for him to actually, put up the kind of numbers we were seeing from him, and that's very much a Lopetegui role.
Yeah. The luck into points role, as they might call it.
Precisely, yeah. Thomas Suchek continues to just be indispensable. I mean, he just
unavoidable.
The man is timeless, ageless. He's a constant rock in this team.
He transcends tactics and sense.
Yeah,
logic.
Plays 90 every single week.
He's been written off so much. Like every season, we're just saying Suchek is done.
Yep.
He's not going to be anywhere near the first team. Get rid of him. He's had the worst season to date, and then he somehow makes it back into the 11.
I love the guy. He's great.
It's impressive.
He is great. He's great.
He's one of those players where you see him, you see your opponent starting him, and you're like, oh man, he very easily could end up with 14 with a goal.
Yes.
And more often than not, he does. All right.
I struggle to find a defensive midfielder who scores more than he does.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Zambos don't really exist anymore.
Oh, how dare you bring him up? God, and he only have you kept up with him?
Napoli, right?
He's incredible now.
He was incredible when he was at Fulham.
Well,
I mean, like
he's
spot to mix sauce.
he's like a world class talent now. They're talking about him going, wherever his next transfer is for like 100 million. Like
Max Sauce is playing number 10, I think, and like shitting goals.
Conte, man, what a monster!
Unbelievable. I love that.
Is unforgivable.
I love that. That was the issue all along. He just needed to be the number 10.
Yeah, they're playing him the wrong role.
Serie A's jokes league.
Yeah, that's true. But
although to be fair, he probably could have been United's best goal scorer if he was in that role. To be honest.
I mean,
yeah.
There were stretches of the season where he was, regardless.
Yeah. Well, based on a 30-minute cameo.
Right. Comes on, scores a brace, wins him the game. Yeah, that happens. All right. Let's talk some City boys here first. I only have 2 of the 3. No, I have 3 on there. Okay. Okay, let's talk all 3, even though I should have had them closer together in the document. It's fine. We were a little bit rushed tonight, no big deal. So first we have beefy boy Kusanov, center back. Have we changed our tune on him since we talked about him last week?
No.
Okay.
He's not going to make City more solid at the back.
Right.
And they don't score well, City center halves. I don't know what his thing would be.
Right.
Is he an aerial guy?
The issue is that they have so much of the ball.
Yeah, there's just not enough activity.
There's just not enough activity around them. And they get... So I think the only way either him or the Brazilian guy, Vitor Reis, is going to be decent as a streamer, is if somehow they have speed and they'll start keeping more clean sheets. I think they have like 4 clean sheets in 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is horrible.
Terrible. Right. And it's not like they've played all, ridiculously difficult teams.
Well, they've played every team once.
Didn't you say this year, or did I make that up? Like this calendar year?
Yeah, this season.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Technically, they've played every team.
Yeah, and all those teams are not good. I'm also right.
Yeah. Yes, you are right.
You're complimenting each other.
Yeah. My only thought is, so he's young, right? He's how old? He's 19. Vitor is. I don't see him coming straight into the squad, and even then, like the hopes are that he's Kyle Walker, but better
off the pitch.
Easily achievable.
It's a very high bar.
But in terms of like fantasy, like we haven't seen. It's
even easier.
It's been a long time since City has had a wingback style. I know he's not going to play as a wingback, but like style player that actually delivers.
These are young players to get them back up from the championship next season.
Oh,
I'm half joking.
This is great.
Yeah,
right.
Otherwise, like, why would you sign with them?
The only City defender worth anything is Joško Guardiola.
Yeah, agreed.
And that has not changed with the addition of 2 18-year-olds.
Well, the next young player compared to us, gentlemen, is Omar Marmoush, 25. We talked about him last week. Totti, you were interested, at least in terms of fantasy potential output?
I definitely am. I think the City assets start slow myth has been thoroughly debunked by Jeremy Doku and Savio of late. So I think he'll offer something different. And we've seen Alvarez flourish as a number 9 that was played as a number 10 or
Is he capable of doing that? I don't know
he
enough about him.
he
More
is
of a-
he is
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
he is. We'll have I'm telling you guys and the listeners as well that we'll have a transfers article written up by Draft Lad, released I think tonight, hopefully tonight. That has Marmouche and all the players that we talk about today on the pod in them. But I think he will be able to play in the number 10 or false 9 or sort of pushed up midfielder role that Julian Alvarez played really well in last season as well. So and I mean Haaland has started every game this season, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, and he has been pretty bad lately. So I think if Pep wants sort of mixed up or a change of pace or a change of tactics, then he'll give him minutes quickly and early, and if he hits the ground running, then he's potentially spend all your fab and then trade after 2 good games. For
Okay.
me.
He has played 25 games at the left wing position, scored 6 goals with 4 assists. Center forward obviously played a lot more there, 137, but he can do it. He can do left wing.
Yeah, he can.
Nice. All
And
right.
he has a very, very niche stat that I read somewhere when I was prepping for this pod. That we always do. That he is one of the very, very few people who have had a hat trick of direct free kick goals.
Whoa, that's pretty cool actually.
Can you guess? There are 3 players in recent times, so since the early 2000s, who have been able to do that. One of them twice.
The early
In
2000s.
In the big leagues, not in the Premier League.
Juninho?
No,
Not in the Premier League?
no, none of them are in the Premier League. I'll give you the names. I think they're pretty random, and you'll be here until your midnight, not my midnight, which is right now. So Lionel Messi has done it twice.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, that is niche.
Alessandro Del Piero has done it once, and the third one is Christian Fuchs.
What?
while he was at Bochum in 2010.
That is wild.
Wow.
I love that. Even just to hear that name brings me joy. That's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, good one, Totti. Good one. All right. Yeah, I mean, I like Marmouche. I think he'll be one of my waiver ads, and I'll throw some fab at him as well. And actually, guys, we will talk about forward in just a little while, and this is a good sort of like teaser.
Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Just to kind of talk about like, okay, start to think about forwards and your need at forward in your various leagues, and I think a lot of people in the current moment could use somebody like him who potentially could be an upside ad. Okay, cool. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You go.
All right, I'm moving on. So Ryan wanted to ask you after his After his world beater performance on the weekend against Liverpool, Mr. Kinski had what we would refer to probably as I don't even know. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be crass, but he was shit against you guys.
You mean Adam Kingsley?
Yeah, Adam Kingsley.
He still had a decent score, right? I mean, in real life, he was poor. The Trossard strike probably should have been saved, if we're being honest.
Yes.
Plus, I mean, I don't know if they coach these dudes on set pieces, but my God, just go get the ball. Like, he's not as bad as Vicario in that regard because no one is. But Jesus. Yeah, the love in was very short, as it usually is with Spurs. But I think he got 10 points. Somebody keep me honest.
He did get 10, yeah. He got 10.
So, I mean, fantasy-wise, he seems okay.
It's pretty good. That's 10 points, conceding 2. That's like a Flecken score.
Yeah. I mean, never.
No, of course. I mean, he couldn't shine
Flecken.
Flecken's boots, but
Thank you.
you know. But yeah, I mean, I think he can be a decent streamer at times. I think if he retains.
Yeah, I think that
have a good schedule.
that's what we came to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're at the same place we were with him last week, so that's great. Anything new from Agbadu, Ryan, for Wolves?
No, it's too early to tell. I got caught in the freaking Isak buzzsaw, so I'll be curious to see how he does against Chelsea, but I don't have high hopes for Wolves center backs anymore.
Yeah.
After Bowley and Seiss, it's really gone downhill. Mosquera had a chance, and Totti has a game every now and again, but the ghosts have just been sucked dry. So I don't have high hopes for him. So I'm not punting on him anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he played 90. Interception, clearance. He had a dribble, interestingly. Block shot.
Big fella.
Didn't even have an aerial.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. All right. We can probably move on from him. The one that's sort of messed up on the slide is Romain Esse. Esse? Anyway, midfielder.
Maybe it's just S?
S could be. Midfielder heading to Crystal Palace. Have you guys heard anything about him?
Isn't he like the new Olise/Eze kind of situation?
Yeah, that's kind of why I ask. Is that they're touting him to be sort of like the next big thing, but he's still very young, and I just wonder if this is going to be one for the future.
I think he's coming to understudy Mateus Franca.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. So understudy to a player who doesn't even play. Perfect.
It's quite a case study to follow. I mean, if he can pull it off, he's got quite a career ahead of him.
So, what would that blueprint look like? You show up to the club to much fanfare, to the point where even some people draft you onto their teams, and then you proceed to get injured for the better part of a year, and then are not heard of again until now, until we're bringing him up now on this podcast.
Yes, that is the career path for Romain Esse.
Perfect. No, I think he's going to be fine eventually. I'm not excited. I'm certainly not going to add him. Maybe one to keep an eye on.
Well, add if he starts, but I doubt he does.
Right.
Just to circle back to Marmouche, because I will forget by the end of this short segment, that I think the main question right now regarding Marmouche is, would you pay all of your fab / first waiver on Marmouche? Because he's gonna go. He's had the here we go. He's probably gonna sign either either before the Thursday or Tuesday waivers, or by the end of the week, end of next week, I mean. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to decide on whether you want to spunk all your fab on him or wait. So my main question is there gonna be another possibly bigger name coming in? What do you guys think?
I think the only possible bigger name would be if Arsenal actually go for a forward.
Yep.
And that would be Sheshko, possibly.
Everything I read about Sheshko looks like he's not going.
If you brought in Gyökeres, I would spunk everything possible and more.
Yeah, I think it'll probably end up being like Vlahovic, if anybody. And he's been pretty bad.
He has.
And he's been bad in every like international tournament I've watched him in. So I don't know why he's so coveted by Arteta, and there would be immediate pressure to start performing. So if he has a bad couple games, it's not going to end well. So
yeah,
and he's never been he's never been prolific. So I think he's been good for like team play and getting stuff done, and that's why he keeps getting like praise. But he's never been one of those like prolific strikers that Arsenal really would need right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be the only one I could think of that would eclipse Marmoush, and I'm still not that high on Marmoush, to be honest. I don't think he's going to get enough meaningful cameos. But having said that, he's the one with the most upside, obviously, until proven otherwise. So.
Yeah, I mean,
so you guys would. I personally would spend the fab slash waiver one on Marmoush.
Yeah,
I think you have to at this point, probably.
Yeah, I think you probably should. Personally, when it comes to like overall fantasy points scored rest of season, I think it's going to be Malen over him.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be TBD. I think it'll be the field. Some rando will emerge.
Yeah.
If like, I think we talked about it previously.
Chalaba comes back.
Dougie Lou. Yeah.
Someone of that ilk could come in and do a job. Maybe Dewsbury Hall.
Well, I mean,
I will say that I haven't heard as much Dougie Lou wishful talk.
No.
As we have spoken anywhere else combined. So I don't think that's happening, but yeah, it would make sense for a lot of reasons. But I haven't.
It is no dream.
Yeah. I mean, KDH to West Ham has the potential to be the most exciting out of all of these.
But you can add him now.
You can add him now.
And you should.
As we have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gone in all my leagues, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Same here. I have him in most of them.
I mean, but even that I'm not super excited about. I think there's a decent chance he doesn't go anywhere and just continues to rot.
Yeah.
The Danny Drinkwater route.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a knock as well.
Yeah, so that, yeah.
You got to go Marmoush.
I think so. You have to pay the price. The only reason I would consider not paying if there was a situation in your league that if you let someone else behind you pay the full price and that got you very close to a monopoly, then I would dominating waivers from game week 22 to game week 38 would rival having Marmouche.
Yeah. Dutch Cowboy,
But other than
interesting thoughts. If you got Holland, go crazy with Omar, but if not, meh. Maybe if you think this is it, drop it
Why?
and trade bait to the Holland owner.
Why would Haaland factor in?
Yeah, he's never
It's
going
not
to
going to be a handcuff.
Well, you said he might spell Holland. You said
Yeah,
that.
but it's like he's at most Haaland's gonna be actually benched for like 5 games of the season or something like that. You don't want it doesn't influence my decision one bit if I have Haaland or not.
Okay, so you are convinced he's gonna get games on the wing.
And not on the wing. I think he's gonna get games in the sort of drawn back number 10 kind of role that
Oh, okay.
Julian Alvarez did.
Okay.
Or the wing. I don't think he'll bench Haaland consistently, I mean. And it's like it's not going to be a hand.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy about it, to be fair.
I might actually.
I'd rather hold and hold for the money shot potential with Arsenal, or just dominate the waiver wire the rest of the way.
I mean,
This feels like a Renato Sanchez.
Oh no!
I get it, but also we were all in consensus due to very similar arguments regarding Savio and Jeremy Doku the season before.
Yeah,
and
I was not in on Savio.
Nor were we in Jeremy Doku.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember distinctly that we discussed on the pod. We had the article saying that he is a high volume dribbler who will have very much difficulty, a lot of difficulty adjusting to the Premier League and Pep's system. So either spend like 20% of your fab or nothing. And then he went on to dominate the first half of the season.
Yeah.
So who does Marmouche supplant in the starting 11? Foden's finally coming on. ADB's fit. Savio's been pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
I mean, you still have Doku and Grealish on the bench.
I mean, he certainly doesn't make sense to spunk all your fab on him, but is there gonna be a better person for wins against replacement?
I mean, believe in something.
That's a good question. I mean, that's hard to say. I mean,
I'm happy for someone else to just go nuts. I'd rather be wrong on Marmouche than.
I don't know that he's a league winner. I'll say that. I don't think he's the type that's gonna like come in and win you a league.
You mean fantasy league?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, I hope he's not
he's gonna lead City to their 5th in a row.
Yeah. Well, Dutch Cowboy said over under 5 starts, and Ryan said under, and he said agreed.
For Marmouche, rest of the season?
Yeah.
In that case, don't spend anything on him.
Well, I told you I'd rather have Mullen.
I mean, let's go into Mullen then.
Okay. So I looked into this. I looked into this week a little bit more.
The former Arsenal youngster.
Yeah, who's going to dunk on us this weekend? It's all the script has obviously been written.
Hell yeah.
Watch it.
So yeah, I was looking at his numbers and didn't realize when we talked about him last week because I don't really follow other leagues religiously. He just isn't playing right now. He's just not starting at all. He is, when compared to other attacking midfielders or wingers, he's 92nd percentile in shot attempts. He's 98th percentile in goals. When you look at the games where he started, he either had a goal or assisted in more than 50% of them. So I'm actually getting kind of excited about him.
Why are they? All right.
I'll get you to the finish line, Joe.
I'll get you. I'll do the devil's advocate, but go ahead.
Get me there. Get me there, Totti.
He averaged 14.1 points per 90, and 8.3 ghost points per 90 last season. And prior to that, he had 15.4 points per 90 and 9.3 ghost points per 90. Is it close to last week's Alicia Lehmann revelation?
Well, this one won't have me Google searching for a half an hour, but
no Google images this time. Although to be fair, if you see what Malin looks like, he looks like he's in his 40s.
Yeah, he does.
And that he's very out of shape, and that he's working at like a Radio Shack as opposed to a top-notch footballer.
You do you guys know? I don't know the name of the actor. The guy, I distinctly remember this one scene in Bruce Almighty when Jim Carrey meets the thugs in the alley and has a monkey climb out of one of the guy's asses, and Daniel Malin looks exactly like that dude.
I've never seen Bruce Almighty.
I was going to say he reminds me of...
You've never seen Bruce Almighty?
No.
It's a charming movie.
It's good.
Anyway, I was going to say he reminds me of OG Ronaldo. He's got that same kind of vibe.
Like the build.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, devil's advocate.
Bundesliga tax.
Yeah.
Emery midfield / forward tax. Diaby had a decent stretch, but by and large, he was pretty average. Ramsey's been pretty average. Bailey's had stretches where he's been very average. It's very hard in that system outside of not only do you have to contend with Watkins now, like Rodgers is eating up a lot of those final third touches. So unless you're Teal's threading in through balls or Rodgers with the 1-2s, it's hard to, I think, accumulate points in those positions. The fact that he's coming from the Bundesliga and has no EPL experience leads me to believe that I think he'll be somewhat whelming.
Those are all very good arguments, to be honest. I like the fact that he's coming into a spot that has a genuine need. That's
fair. That's the best thing I think he has going for him, that he could genuinely just start immediately, and if he hits the ground running, then you're off to the races.
I mean, so here's how I'm looking at him, and we're going to talk forwards in a minute, but I'm looking at adding him as like a forward 3 and hoping.
3.5, where like you rotate him in based on matchup.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like in the league where I just added Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, fair.
I'll have him
very
as
much
like
in that ilk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you get the start.
Yeah, I have Mateta, and I can kind of see him rivaling his points.
Yeah, Mateta's having a little mini renaissance of his own.
What's up with Eze, by the way? Like, I know he played against us, Joe, so he was obviously going to get an attacking return. But like, he's been shit.
He's been bad. Yeah.
He's been bad, yeah.
His ceiling, even with a return, is like 13. It's crazy.
Yeah, but he has been rather consistent in that he's like scoring 10 plus most weeks.
Yeah, but he should be, I mean, given
where there's no explosivity,
he should be winning game weeks, and he hasn't been.
Yeah, he's not scoring like a first round pick.
Yeah. Well, who is?
Well,
Raheem Sterling.
Definitely Raheem Sterling.
Don't even get me. I've stepped into the same river
I can't believe you guys did that.
I lost by 8, and Sterling and Kai combined for 4 points.
I can't believe you did that. I
Dude,
I don't know what I have to do to talk you out of that. I just,
dude.
You're dropping Sterling.
Me.
He's the worst.
You're dropping Sterling, right?
Oh, 1,000%.
I never added him.
I already have. The eye test was horrific.
Oh, he was so bad.
I couldn't work out what exactly he was doing out there.
All right, Ryan. He would receive the ball, do a little shimmy shake,
then walk.
like a little shimmy shake, like he was going to try to take on Spence, but then wouldn't, and then just pass it. It was very Grealish-esque.
And then the one or two times he actually did try to take him on, he got dispossessed, and then he got into dangerous positions through no fault of his own. 2 or 3 times he wandered into a dangerous position
by pure luck
and fluffed it.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
He was really bad.
Yeah. So I don't care if they're threadbare and they don't have anyone else. I'm not playing him ever again.
Yep. Thank you. Welcome to the club.
God, that Cunha benching, man.
I know. Cunha, yeah, that was brutal.
That put me. I was not planning on starting either of them. I wanted to stash and trade. If he end up having a decent game, fair. I'll trade out. But the Cunha benching put me in it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that would have been because there was 5.5 between Sterling and Cunha.
Cunha got 8. Cunha got 8 or 9. 8.
Yeah, so that still wouldn't have won it for me, thank God. But Jesus.
Yeah, that would have been one that haunted.
But if Cunha would have started, he would have gotten me over the line. Christ.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talked about a potential forward to Arsenal. Do you guys have anything to mention or add about Trevoh back to Chelsea, aside from the fact that it's a fucking travesty?
I think he'll do a little bit worse, but still, I think is worth holding.
He's been dropped in a bunch of leagues. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, I don't think he'll be the same alpha dog, but I still think he'll be serviceable, and at least worth holding for the next couple of weeks to see if it pans out.
You think he starts right away?
I think so.
I think he's coming to the bench.
Oh, because it's Wolves.
Yeah, it's Wolves, but who is he? Okay, he can replace Archiampong or whatever his name is.
I think you answered your own question.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he going to replace that one guy
again?
No, they would never take him out.
Whose name I don't know.
He could either replace this decent player, or this NPC.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, he can replace him.
I don't know. I just wouldn't drop it. I wouldn't drop until you see that he's not starting against Wolves. Then maybe you need to pivot. But I mean, that's such a good matchup.
Not based on that first. Remember the first time they met?
Well,
the game was blacked out drunk.
It was an awesome game. It was an awesome game.
Yeah, as a Cunha roster, I was like, Jesus, this is. Oh man, loved it.
6-2.
Yeah, Cunha brace, if I'm not mistaken, or
yes,
Worldies too.
No, Cunha had a goal,
at least an assist as well.
Yeah, yes, he had a goal.
I remember 2 returns.
Yeah. What a game. All right, Philogene, we talked about last week. Any updates on that?
I'm not that
still
interested.
Not interested.
I'm not either.
Yeah. He'll pop up for 1 or 2 games rest of season, but not worth the roster spot.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Up next, guys, we have... Hold on.
Oh, it was crazy, dude. Totally out of the blue. I mean, I was just sitting there and I was like, oh! Reality hits you hard, bro.
A new drop.
What on earth is that?
It's my best one ever. It's my best one ever.
The best one that hasn't included or featured Andres, but yeah.
Well, okay, sure. No,
Yes,
do you guys don't remember that one from last year?
No.
Yeah,
No.
we did reality check one time last year.
Oh, I must not have been on it. I would have remembered that for sure.
Yeah. And that was
Wow, that's was that from like a cops episode or something?
I don't know who the guy is. It's just some like random ass interview with some guy who's like, boom, reality hits you hard. But like the music is from Blade.
Did you overlay it with music from Blade?
Yeah.
Oh man, you are Pharrell
incredible.
Williams these days.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think it rivals What's in the Box for sure.
I
That's-
wouldn't go
no,
there.
not for me.
No,
What?
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, not
no,
for
no,
me.
no.
Because of
What's
the
in
like
the
toy
box? Take
music
it. Yes.
juxtaposition with the lines from the movie. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're a
That's,
victim of your own success, though.
All right, that's fine. I'll take it. All right, guys. So reality check. This is where we sort of come to terms with some maybe new realities that we're facing in the league, and it's not always bad either. So, but the first one is, what has happened to Brighton? What is going on with Brighton? And I'm speaking specifically about fantasy assets. In the last 60 days, Brighton have had 2 attackers that should say above 10 points per game. 2 attackers above 10 points per game. The worst part is the next closest is Baleba with 5.9. That's the next closest attacker.
Not to mention the unpredictable rotation, which
Right.
adds insult to injury. Like if they were nailed on, it'd be one thing, but the fact that you have to roster like multiple ones to even effectively field an 11 is the coup de grace.
Yeah.
I've checked out at Brighton a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And you know, like when you see someone starting, like for example, like an Adingra or an Ayari, there is equal chance that they're going to get you 2 or 3 than get you 11. Like they haven't shown that they, you know, are
They're not explosive.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's like the general run-of-the-mill mid-season rut or if other teams have started to work out Herzl or a combination of the two, or if it's, you know, that man Welbs being out.
That's what I was gonna say. I think.
But if
I
your
think that has
entire
something to
attack
do
is
with-
hinging on Welbs, then that's another conversation.
Yeah. I mean, Matteo was set for another stinker until he had the assist, but he's not been good either. I mean, we basically called that a while back.
Yeah.
You've had
He's
nobody.
just not ghosting. He's just not ghosting.
Right.
Yeah, we had that one game where they sold us a bill of goods and Gruda got like 17 and
Yep.
I think
Yep.
O'Reilly got like 10.
I got so much abuse from my league mates when after that 16-pointer I just dropped Gruda.
Yeah,
And
I remember you said
everyone
that.
was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You don't know what you're doing, whatever." And he hasn't cracked 2 since then.
2?
Yeah.
I don't think he has.
No. Yeah, he got 2 or 3 that next start in like a 57-minute hook, and that's when I said no. But yeah, I had like a little bit of hope after that game, so I kept him. You got some balls for dropping him. I'll give you that.
Yeah, sorry, I lie.
But
He had
you're
5.
doing right.
5.
Still 5 is, whatever.
Yeah, trash.
I mean, the thing is,
the issue is that you had to start him, and he got you 5,
yeah.
and you were expecting 10 at least.
I mean, none of them are really ghosting very well. That's the interesting thing, is that there just really aren't that many ghosts to go around. Like, even Matoma and Pedro, their ghosts are pretty meh. I mean, they don't usually. I mean, Matoma especially doesn't usually ghost all that well, but the rest of the team is pretty much following suit at this point. Aside from guys like Purvis or, interestingly, Veltman.
Has Veltman been good?
Yeah, you would not believe it. 11, 4.75, 15, 3.5, 9.25. I mean, he's not been bad.
Yeah, that's decent.
Yeah.
Not his usual self.
I mean, he's not gonna. There's a reason he's available in math. 76% of leagues. So see, it's hard, guys, when you have to turn the roster percentage into available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
In your head, you have to
subtract.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah,
pretty tough. All right, so it doesn't sound like you are offering listeners much hope here, guys.
I think João Pedro will probably crack on. I don't have any hope for like the middling streamers, like the Adingras, Grutas, O'Reillys, blah blah. I don't have any more patience for them. But the studs like Matoma and JP, I think you got to stick with.
So if you're talking attackers, is anyone besides Matoma, JP, and Welbs not just the week-to-week streamer?
No, they're all streamers.
I'm curious what Sanjy thinks about that.
Hello, friends.
Hey, buddy.
Late.
Yeah, I was. We just finished up recording the Bantah Boys pod. So I thought, let me see if you guys are still on.
Sloppy seconds. Sloppy seconds.
We will.
I made it before waivers, right? So that's what I was hoping for. But how's it going? How's the stream so far?
We are on the second segment.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Nice. Another hour to go then.
We talked Moyes, we talked transfers, and now we're doing reality check. And the question is, what the hell's happened to Brighton? Totti just said basically that aside from João Pedro and Matoma, that everyone else is a streamer. I don't even know that they're that level.
I mean, I will always pick up Adingra and Minte and maybe Rutter just to start because they have the upside of like 15 points.
Did you pick up Adingra today?
He was not available, luckily.
Okay. Or what about January 4th against Arsenal? Because he scored 3.5.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have played him against Arsenal.
Today against Ipswich, 6.25. It's meh. It's
middling.
It's a as Genie would say, a forward 5.
Mid 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Totti's spot on, man. It's honestly a minefield picking from Brighton.
You sound surprised.
Well, I mean, I was gonna come in and like hype up Matt O'Reilly because I know there's a bunch of lovers of him all over the place, and they would have been like quite wet with the assist today as well. See, but obviously I have to be realistic about it. And he's just as much of a rotation piece as the rest of those guys, right? That isn't named JP or Matoma. And I mean, even with JP, I think the reason I would only be hype on him is because he's got penalties. He's still getting subbed early, which is infuriating.
Yeah.
So if I was to be very strict about it, I would say Matoma and everyone else then.
Oof.
And based on the reviews or the comments from today's game and the last time he played, he has already missed out on 2 red cards in the last 3 games. So maybe he's due.
He's got a hot head.
I was surprised that he didn't get sent off for that elbow that didn't catch the defender the other day.
Oh yeah.
I think he should have seen red.
But then he couldn't have dunked on me the following game week.
It's
I
weird
mean,
though. There's been a few.
The greater good.
Yes, exactly.
There's been a
destiny.
few instances like this in the league, though. Like I think of like Kulusevski on Lavia. Like for some reason, VAR is just letting these like moments of violence just fly by, like it's normal.
Yeah,
in
there's
football.
still something called attempted murder. Like the fact that you didn't do it, it's premeditation. Like it's just because you suck at elbowing doesn't mean that like the intent's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they're trying to get the WWE crowd on board.
I love that. That is exploding at the moment. I mean, if we critique the PGMOL guys, we're going to be here all night. Yeah, unfortunately, but
are we not going to be here all night if we don't do that?
I don't know. My whole thing, and I texted it to the group this weekend, and I know you ignore my text mostly during Liverpool matches because it's just frustration. But
yes,
what happened to giving yellow cards for time wasting? Why is that just no longer a thing anymore?
It's no longer a thing anymore. That is what happened.
No, but I said why.
I don't know.
Yep. All right. Fair. Okay. You guys ready for the next one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Strength at the back. Have defensive scoring changes saved the position? You guys remember last year? We were in the exact space and we were talking about, oh no, all the defenders suck. They're all terrible. Or is it something that, is much more related to the way the game has, the games have sort of panned out this season, or the way that the scoring has changed, number of goals this season versus last season? Like, what do we make of the fact that there are 13 defenders in the top 50 overall? There are 16 defenders with 10 points per start or more.
So I've crunched some numbers, and so between 07-08 and the 21-22 season, the average number of clean sheets was 216. And last season, it was 157.
Whoa.
Which was an aberration. And now we have 93 clean sheets as of now, which adds up to 168 if the amount of clean sheets until game week 21 keeps on happening until game week 38. So it's a slight improvement on the aberration that was last season, but still way off the average between the historical average. So I think it is the scoring, but also I think high scoring defenders or decent scoring defenders have always been in the top whatever. We just tend to ignore them. So if you check out the rostered percentage of like top 50 scorers, the top 50 scorers from forwards and midfielders will all be 100% rostered.
Sure.
Whereas the top 10 of the top of defenders will be 100% rostered, and you will see players who are the 12th, 18th highest scoring defender, and they will be on your waiver wire.
That's wild.
And that has always been the case. So I think the scoring definitely helped solidify, and I've been able to, and I think you'll all agree, based on your own experiences, that streaming has been much more rewarding this season as for defenders than it had been the previous season.
Yes.
But and that's, I think it's down to the scoring changes. But yeah, I think defenders are sneaky good. Anyways.
I don't know if it's easier to stream per se. I think there's been some defenders that have emerged to be kind of set and forget out of the blue, like a Housen or a Chalobah. Kilman had his time, Collins. But like week to week, I don't know, man. It's tough to rely on some of these guys. But as a whole, I think in terms of overall numbers, I think you're right. But streaming week to week, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been mostly doing a back three and stream the fourth defender when I get desperate, but I haven't found it that easy.
Go ahead, Sanjy.
I was gonna ask, not just like streaming is easier, because I agree with Ryan on that point. I was wondering, maybe is it more digestible to stack from a particular team, like goalkeeper, defender, or double defense from a team? Like it feels like it's easier to take that risk now.
I feel like only Forest commands that kind of defensive stack anymore.
Yeah, early season Liverpool kind of did.
Yeah.
But other than I have Raya and Gabriel in the community league, and they've been decent, but frustrating lately.
They never give up more than one or two goals, so you're never going to look at negatives. But
yeah, exactly.
They haven't had the clean sheets that they have before.
Yeah, and Gabriel is the one that you want from the Arsenal defense.
Yeah,
if you want to pair someone with Raya. But I've been close to lately, since like Boxing Day, I've been close to considering a change at goalkeeper, but it's just so much easier not to fuck about with the goalkeeper position.
God, Flecken has saved me from that monstrosity.
That beautiful man. Absolutely.
Anyway.
All right. Anything else to add on defenders? We got one more reality check, and then we'll go for some streamers.
I think you're gonna have to play it again for Sanjy. Then.
Sanjy did not hear the drop. That is true.
The sound bite.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to play it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, it was crazy, dude. Totally out of the blue. I mean, I was just sitting there and I was like, oh! Reality hits you hard, bro.
God damn, that was epic. I got a little tingle down my spine. That's pretty good stuff, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yep. I think it's my best work, but they maintain that the what's in the box drop is better.
Yeah, I mean, what's in the box is like that never fails. Yeah,
it's pretty iconic, and all of those pale in comparison to Andres Posada. So
yeah,
but what can I do?
Sweet dulcets.
Yeah. All right, guys. I thought the forward pool was supposed to be deep. What's going on here? What's happened at forward? 16 forwards with 9 points per game or better. 16 in the top 50 only. Shots on target. This is kind of interesting to me. Holland, 47. Salah, 41. The next closest, Isak, 28. Watkins, 26. And shots on target's not everything for a forward. I understand that. Like, Cunha gets his points in a multitude of different ways because he's a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think you guys can all relate to the fact that, like, okay, how many weeks are you really rolling out 3 forwards versus, okay, you got your 2 maybe set and forget guys, and then you're going to try to stream a defender or you're going to roll out another midfielder. Like, I feel like forward 3 is where it's really shaky this year.
I got super lucky in 2 of my leagues because I was able to get Wood as my forward 3, so I don't need much rotation there. But I'm
beautiful.
He's moved into your forward 1 position.
Yeah, well, No, but in one of my leagues, he's up there.
In your heart, he's your forward one.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is spot on. Nobody likes to have a pop anymore. Makes me yearn for El Ghazi even more. Honestly.
That's true, actually. They all just pass it around the fucking box now. Like, even Liverpool.
Seriously.
Nobody shoots.
Yeah, nobody has a pop. And Arsenal is one of the worst offenders of that in the world. They just go back and want to pass it into the net. It's infuriating, especially with Odegaard. He's got such a sweet shot. But yeah, I think the forward pool's deep, but it's very shallow.
Hold on.
It's long, but it's shallow.
There's a lot of them, but the points production
They're all
shallow.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's the problem, right? Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge group of middling forwards that are just a roll of the dice outside of the big guys. So
yeah.
Let's see if Mullen changes all that.
I think he will. I think he absolutely will.
The forward that was promised.
Yeah.
The chosen one.
Sanjy, you've unmuted yourself, I can see.
Yeah, no, I just want to say Holland was so bad in that Brentford game. Like, seeing it in person, yeah, it was a good cardio session. I'll give him that, but
it's not
didn't
great.
Really do much. No, it was just what was like baffling was like every time they countered or they tried to start an attack, it's just like, okay, Savio's there, KDB's there, okay, Foden's here. Where the hell is Holland? Like it was kind of crazy. But yeah, agreed. It's really weird forward pool to kind of pick from. Like right now, you're kind of hoping that you get one of the forwards that is playing like an OOP position, like a Rodrigo Gomes. Right now, who's getting a few starts. Who's getting his points in other ways, right? Other than shooting on target. Yeah, KLP, a beautiful example, honestly. Playing that defensive role, getting good. Reliable ghost points, I want to say, for a forward three. But yeah, it's grim, man.
Yeah, which is rare. Like, and that's I think that's what I'm maybe highlighting here is like the ghost points are really hard to come by at forward. And if no one's taking shots, then you're relying on the odd goal here and there. And when that doesn't come, I mean, look at somebody, like we know him to be very goal dependent, but look at somebody like a Yohan Wissa, right? So he's going to score you 3 or maybe like 27.
God love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luis Diaz.
Yes, well. I was literally just exactly.
That center forward role is not a good position for Ghosts.
We already mentioned
it ruined Dango this weekend.
Oh yeah,
or this week. I should say. I was worried about that, him switching up to number 9. Better chances at goals, but Ghost just completely dried up. So hopefully somebody comes back into that number 9 spot.
Yeah, I mean, we already mentioned Joao Pedro against Ipswich this week was miserable. Havertz has been brutal. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what happened to him?
God, don't get me started.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Man. Confidence players has lost it all.
Yeah.
I mean, even Nico Jackson has cooled down considerably.
And Nico had an okay game this week, but with like Kai, it's not like the chances aren't falling to him, but it's like Ryan said, it's just confidence is just low. Like I think if he had slightly more confidence, he'd have scored like a couple of maybe 2 goals, 2 games, 3 goals, 3 games. Like he's getting beautiful chances.
Yeah.
I mean, he has 3 more points than Jürgen Strand Larsen, who has been considerably better than what we expected him to be.
Yeah, best Norwegian striker in the
chances too.
Best Norwegian striker.
But yeah, he's been bad.
Yep. Correct.
Yep.
That's agreed. All right. Well, I mean, any light at the end of the tunnel on this, or
Other than Daniel Malen?
Daniel Mullins? He's the one. He's the one for me.
What? Why on earth would Liverpool not accept 70 million for Darwin Núñez?
Oh, okay. Now
Unless
you're gonna
they
get me
assume they'll
started.
come back for a second bid.
I think they do.
I think it's just pure negotiation.
But also, I think they're scared to sell him mid-season when they're chasing a title.
Why?
No, I agree. I think they see him as a body in that forward line.
But he does nothing well.
I agree. Yeah, I'm done with him.
He looks like he's won a contest to be a footballer.
That's like what Sterling looked like this last weekend too.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
But has actually played before prior to winning the contest.
I mean, yeah, like 7 aside, sure.
Yeah, but something.
Yes.
Some experience with the game.
Oh man. Yeah, I agree, Totti. I mean it when I say I think that Jayden Danns could have done everything and probably more that Darwin has done this season with the minutes that Darwin's had.
You also have Chiesa that like you have another body.
Chiesa was injured for a long time.
Back now though, yeah?
He's back now, yeah, for sure. He's back. Yeah.
Yeah, you have options.
But
we have Ben Doak as well.
Right, I mean, Doak,
anyone can play the post 9 role as well as Darwin Núñez does the proper 9 role.
Freaking Elliott up there if you wanted to.
I would love to see more of Ben Doak. In fact, I mean, because he wants to leave at this point. He's basically fed up and he's done. And that's going to be
probably the best situation would be to have Jayden Danns sit on Harvey Elliott's sort of shoulders.
I was like, where is he going with this?
Yes.
And then they could be a decent combination forward. Like in a long trench coat.
Who is
Jayden Danns?
Oh, he's our young
Oh,
striker.
he's the guy that scored in the cup. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Super.
But I mean, I literally mean he's got a tall build. He's kind of lanky.
Yeah, might as well.
He could do any of the things Darwin's done this season, with fewer yellow cards.
Can he shoot it into Rosette?
Well,
then yes. Like for like.
I'll tell you who can. Salah.
Does he have a great song? Yeah, what is Pete Boach gonna do when Darwin inevitably leaves? Like, is he a one-player Liverpool fan, or does he stick with it?
I honestly don't know.
I worry about him.
I do too. I do too. His followers are gonna fall off for sure.
His mental health. Oh, I don't give a shit about the social media following.
Ryan is like his biggest follower.
Honestly, I think I am.
Yeah. For listeners who are wondering what the hell we're talking about, this is the guy on Twitter who posts the Darwin Núñez songs, and in our group chat for the Draft Society, the company group chat, Ryan will often take the opportunity to be like, holy crap, look at this stat, you guys. This is unbelievable. And then just post the link to that song.
You guys have gotten pretty good at spotting it, but still sometimes I've adapted and I've gotten better at like introducing it and throwing smoke screens. So
yeah,
it's a cat and mouse game that I like to play.
It really is.
When
but
Ryan
he hasn't put any new material out is the problem.
Yeah.
When Ryan came for the Brighton game, we went to the pub after, and right before he got up to go use the loo, he put the song on loudspeaker and left his phone there and just walked away. Like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, and how many just walked over to the table after that?
Oh, I love that. That's incredible.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I never. Oh man, somebody dropped the ball in telling that story. This should not.
I
Be
should
the
have
first
done
time
that
I'm
again
hearing
my
about
last
this.
visit, and that's
Yeah, you should.
at the
I'm
award
surprised
show.
you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Should have talked to the DJ.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because Liverpool won like best club, or no, Man City won. Never mind.
Best club.
Club.
Yeah,
That's
that
an
was
award?
that was an award. Like,
Fuck
can you believe
off.
that?
Best
Yeah, and some like
club.
14-year-old kid went up and accepted it, and we all booed. It was great. That
Hell
poor
yeah.
kid.
That's
City
awesome.
Extra or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Streamers.
All right, let's put a bow on that, and we'll move into some streamers. Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sanjy, your role is just to give commentary on all of these streamers.
Okay.
All right, so like you tell us if like we're terrible at what we do and we should hang up our boots and never do this again, or if these are some good picks. Those are the only
Those
two
are
options.
the only two.
Yeah, that's it. It's one of the two. All right, and with that, Ryan, you're up first.
Awesome. I think you actually alluded to him earlier, Sanjy. Is Rodrigo Gomez has been surprisingly good at ghosting as a talk about forward three. Been getting 8 or 9 points and has been unlucky not to get a return the last couple weeks, I would say. Last game of the game week, I like rostering him as cover, and then if you need to start him as your forward three, I think he can do a job. He's been scoring pretty well, so been pleasantly surprised with his output. Simi, I mean, my God, he has to start at some point, right?
Yeah,
came
Robbo's
on
been
against
so bad.
Forest and scored really well. I think he got an assist and looked pretty lively, but they were chasing the game, so I don't think you can extrapolate a 90-minute score based on that. But obviously, if he starts, he's obviously got a decent shot at scoring well. Don't think they'll keep it a clean sheet, but you're counting on ghosts there, attacking returns there.
Yeah.
Lucas Bergvall, I'm not completely sold on him yet because I think I said in Discord he got most of his 10-ish ghosts from defensive stats, and it's just who we are, mate. FC parked the bus against Arsenal and still didn't get a result. So I doubt they'll do that against Everton. But as a self-harming Madison rosterer, I'm looking for at least some cover for him. So I think he'll at least do that in a pretty shallow mid pool. Bednarek only goes when I don't stream him. So he was majestic today. I think he got 13 with 3 conceded. So against Forest and big Chris Wood, he should have a fair amount to cover for. So if you need ghosts, big Jan's your man.
Hell yeah, dude.
I really love the picks. The only one I'd be hesitant on is Bergvall, not because he's a Spurs player, but it's just that I don't know how they would set up in midfield, because I think earlier in the season I punted on him when they were playing Southampton and they won 5-0 and he only got 5.25 points. But I think he was the only other pivot with Sarr or something in midfield. So I think if he has 2 defensive midfielders behind him, then I'm more likely to go there. But yeah, I understand why you'd go there, especially as a Madison owner.
That's a good point. I think, lineups will probably tell you quite a bit about where he's going to be playing specifically.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about him, but yeah, I'm pretty desperate.
Yeah, that's fair. God, that Madison, I just can't make heads or tails of that. It's wild.
He came on at the half against Arsenal, so you got to think that, and it's a short turnaround. God, if he doesn't start this weekend, I just don't know.
I mean, so they're winless. Okay, cup match aside, Mickey Mouse Cup aside, they're winless in 6.
And how many of those has he started?
0. Well, no. Did he start? Did he start against Liverpool? He had 57 minutes, so he must have.
Yeah.
Okay, so he started one of those.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I saw like since November 24th or something, they're like the 18th worst team. I think I saw that on Match of the Day.
They've
They're
lost
like
11
so
games.
they're so bad.
What,
Like,
in the world? Or just in the Premier League?
in the Prem.
In the
Oh,
world.
okay.
In the world, it might be lower potentially. You never know. Like, there's a lot of teams to be worse than. So, but yeah, they're really shit right now.
They're pretty bad, yeah. Which makes it even worse that we lost to them, but that's fine. Okay, nice, love it. Totti,
Yes, sir.
Hit us
So I had Jorginho Reuter in my waivers article, and was it not for his knock in the FA Cup, he would have probably started. He came on, scored a goal tonight, and I expect him to start against United and do well and defy our damning assessment of Forwards and Brighton assets.
I'm against them if it helps.
oh,
It does help a lot, essentially. That is very good news. My second pick is Emerson, who we thought about maybe being the beneficiary of a better system under Potter. Is still up in the air, but despite Palace's win at the weekend in the midweek games, this should be an open game with some involvement from Emerson, from the defenders as well, and Emerson has a capacity to go forward. It's a punt. If you're stuck on defenders, then I'd be okay punting. And the third one is even more of a punt. It's Lindstrom against Spurs. As long as McNeil is out, there's going to be some chopping and churning for those attacking spots under David Moyes, and no one has put up a great performance against Villa, not to be replaced, especially Harrison hasn't.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I expect Lindstrom will have a chance, and Spurs do like to concede.
They do. And he's actually been okay in cameos. I mean, 3.5 in 30 minutes against
He
Villa.
scores pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
It's just the rare start for him, I think.
Yes.
And but the
I
thing is,
saw Richarlison is back.
He is.
yeah,
Defined back.
He's not injured anymore.
Yes.
That is the definition of back in this context. Do you guys think he has any chance of starting anytime soon? Not that we would want him, even if he did. But
Unless he's in
just-
direct competition with Madison for a start, then no.
I mean,
he's
that's the
not.
truth.
He's not starting over Solanke. He's not starting over Son. So, well,
I mean, Son has been
that's
horrible.
fair.
Also,
But okay, so if he did start, does he make it to 70? Probably not.
probably not.
I mean,
Probably
yeah.
not.
Neither him nor Harrison are going to make it to 70, I would assume.
Yes.
I'm not gonna waste a roster spot on him. I don't think. I've done it before, and I'm not doing it again.
Okay. Agreed. Those are my streamers.
Sweet. All right, I'll round us out. So, along with our conversation about defenders, I have a couple for you. I mentioned Veltman previously in our conversation about Brighton players and how, surprisingly, he's actually been okay. Yeah, that one's kind of punty, but he could be decent. So, one to think about. I like Tosin. As long as he starts, I like Tosin against Wolves.
Well, Tosin could come in from ahead of Trevor Chalobah.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
yeah,
saying. Just saying. Just saying.
wasn't he
And we
already?
know he didn't start.
Oh, I guess, yeah, he started.
Yeah, he
started.
came off the
Started.
bench and got 7
He
points.
scored. He scored
yeah.
twice in the cup, didn't he?
Absolute
it.
banger for one of them.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of thinking he's due for a start. I didn't realize he didn't start against Bournemouth, but yeah, like you said, Sanjy, 7 points in 18 minutes. My God,
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
it really is. Yeah, and then his previous matches were kind of brutal.
Yeah,
I
they
still
weren't
like him against Wolves if he starts. I still like him.
Yeah.
So one to think about, maybe stash, and then if he's not there, hopefully you can find some cover. Maybe Ryan's boy that he mentioned earlier. And then Totti, this one is, if you're in a spot or if you are a believer in that he can continue what he did last week, this is Soler versus Crystal Palace under his new manager. Will he continue to kick on? It remains to be seen, but worth at least an ad just to see.
Yeah, based on the reports, he was playing well.
Only Potter would start 4 CDMs and win a game 3-2. I saw that lineup and oh my God, I wanted to puke. It was an ugly lineup, man.
It was an ugly game.
Yeah.
There are 5 goals.
But the worst goals.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. It's true. All right. Let's let people get out of here, guys, and hit the hay or whatever. Go be with their families, whatever it might be. Thanks, guys. Sanjy, thanks for joining late.
My pleasure, as
It was
always.
awesome. Appreciate it. Listeners, you're the best. Thank you all so much. Thanks for everybody who joined us live in chat. And if you're ever thinking about doing that, hit us up. Usually we're here on Wednesdays. This week was kind of an anomaly, but normally we're here Wednesdays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube. Check us out. Join the chat. Have some comments. Ask some questions. Have some fun. But aside from that, good luck to everybody this coming game week. If you have any questions, Discord's the place to do it. Go over there. Ask some questions. Make some friends. Really just get stuck into the community. With that, we're going to sign off. Talk to everyone later. KPC out. Cheers.